welcome to my channel. Stay tuned to the end of the video and I will explain everything I'm going to do with this channel. So, to kick it off, my very first channel on YouTube, the one true greatest video I can make. I want to make a good quality video. I decided to show you lucky fellas about the most, I guess, not the most, but one of the most craziest things. Not crazy, but stupid things I've ever done. Alright, so I'm going to take you back to 2021. It was March 10th and I just turned 18. And I wanted to do something big for my birthday. And I planned all of this shit, and I was like inviting everyone I know. I was like, you, come over here. Or, I barely know you, but fuck it. We're going to go party at my house. Because I'm 18 now, and what the fuck's going to happen? So, I invited so much people, got all the shit ready. Time comes, no one shows. But a couple of the most amazing people will ever meet. And you will meet two of them in this story. So, they came over and I just call it off, right? I'm pissed off about it and I just go to bed. And I try to forget about it. 2 weeks. 2 weeks after that, I was with one of my ex-friends and I was hanging out with him and it was about, 11 o'clock at night. Right? And I was still so pissed off about my 18th birthday that I couldn't get out of my head. I had to figure something out to do because it was just driving me crazy. So that night, I decided I'm going to do something. Well, that day too, my mom gave me $100 when she came down to see me to celebrate my birthday. So I was like, okay, what can I do? I'm 18. It's 8 o'clock, so I can't do a lot of things. I can't buy cigarettes. I can't buy vape. I can't buy anything really. I'm 18, and mainly all the strip club, at least in my town, was closed, and the mall was. So I couldn't go and buy a sex toy or something. It's just something fucking stupid. So I can say I did this. So I decided what every great mind or every an amazing idea went in my head, basically. I was like, okay, biggest idea. Alright, I'll go stay at a hotel. Right? They can't be that expensive. You were fucking wrong. Alright? I was so wrong. Walking down the street, alright, we have about 5 hotels and about 3 motels when I live here, right? I went to every motel, and I didn't have a car at the time. So I was walking to all these hotels. And it was the middle of the night, and I live in a city, and it was pretty fucking sketchy. So I was walking on everywhere I could to find a hotel, and none of these hotels were either closed, not closed, but had too many people there, or they were too expensive. So I was like, fuck it, motel, alright? We do some Breaking Bad type shit. Excuse me, I've never seen Breaking Bad, so I apologize if that was very wrong. But we'll go do something fucking like that. So, like the dumbass I am, I walked to this motel because I knew there would be rooms. And I also knew it would be probably the safest motel I can stay at. And I go down to them and I was like, man, I've been looking all night. Is there a way I can stay at this motel? And he goes, basically tell me the prices. Alright. And it was I believe $80 to $90 to stay at this motel. And I was like, fuck yeah. I gave the guy my ID. I gave the guy the crisp $100 bill to the guy. He gave me my room key, about $9, $10 and change. And I walk back. And I go to my hotel room, and on the right, you can see a TV. It was like a box TV on this like shitty ass shelf. Alright? It was really fucking like shitty place to stay. And I looked to my left, I believe. Sorry, I'm very dyslexic, and my left and rights get really mixed up, so just stay along with me. But I look over to my other side, basically, and you can see 2 beds, and in the middle is a, like, I guess another shelf with a lamp on it. And it was like a really shitty lamp. It barely fucking worked. You had to like tap on the light bulb to get it to work. It was some really stupid shit. So, if I was going to celebrate my 18th birthday, I was going to celebrate it the way I wanted to. And at the time, I was a fucking idiot, and I was like, alright, I need cigarettes and alcohol. Alright, I'd rather smoke weed, but hell, it's my fucking 18th. I want to do something, more exciting. And I peeked through the peephole, and there's this thing I do where if I'm in a situation I do not want to be in, I use this trick called the Florida Man trick. If you just say you're from Florida, anything fucking goes. And I peeped through this peephole, basically. And I look around and I see these 2 couples, right? I opened the door, and I opened it, and I looked over, and I was like, hey, what's the age to buy cigarettes around here? He goes, 21. I was like, oh, damn. He goes, where are you from? I go, I'm from Florida. I just came down here to visit some family and friends. I'm like, oh, okay. He goes, here, take a couple of these, and I guess in the morning, if you give me the money, I'll go up and buy some. I was like, alright, thank you, man. And I smoked my cigarette, and was kind of talking to these people. And I had no idea who they are. We never said our names. And we were just talking, And it was like talking about like why I was down here, and I told them basically that my friend came down to Florida. Alright? He's basically hung out for a while. I decided, what the fuck, I go see some family and friends, and I drove down back with him, and now I'm staying at this motel, because I like to be by myself mostly. He understood, and he was like, okay. And we just kept chatting, and that was basically it. I got done with my cigarette, and I went back to my hotel room. Excuse me while I take a drink of water. Stay hydrated, my friends. And I'm sorry for if my voicing's kind of nervous. I don't want to fuck this story up, because this story takes so much time to fucking talk about. Like, I can make a multi-part series about just this one story. And this is like my 5th take. So, I go back in my hotel room, and I was like, man, these 3 cigarettes is not going to last me to the end of the night. So I was like, alright, this is what I'm going to do. I used to work at Taco Bell, right? And I still had a friend that was above 21 that worked there still. And I basically texted him, like, look, man, I'm celebrating my 18th, and I need a huge favor. He's like, what's up? I was like, well, I need you to buy me a pack of cigarettes, because I only got 3 and it's not going to last me. The guy knew I smoked. So, he was like, okay. So, basically, he said, wait until I get done closing. They got done around 2 a.m. I was like, alright. So, when I was sitting there, I was trying to figure out what else I could do, and I start hearing moaning and, like, banging in the next door. Turns out, my neighbors are fucking in the next door. And I just was like, what the fuck? I didn't want to sit there and hear them have sex, so I was like, alright. I walked down to the Taco Bell, because it was just down the road. And I waited. I waited there about 2 to 3 hours. And while I was waiting, I was shit terrified that the police was just going to come up here and just start harassing me, right? Not harassing, but just sitting there and being like, why are you here and all this shit. So, my dumb ass was like, alright, I'll make myself the most least noticeable person, and I pimped my hood up. And I was wearing a black hoodie. like a fucking shadow I was, I stayed there and I sat there and I waited. And I had one manager come out here and said if I didn't leave, she was calling the police. And I was like, hey. I gave her, we'll call my friend John. I said, I know John. Alright, I used to work here. John can vouch for me. And John did. So I sat there and waited a bit longer. And he got done and we're walking up. Now, this is Taco Bell. And Taco Bell is not known for, being sober and being the best place to eat because, you're not stoned at 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the morning just wanting some fucking food. So, while we're walking up, he looks at me and he goes, Devin, if we get pulled over from the cops, which we most likely won't, but if, you need to say that you do not know me. I was like, why? He goes, well, the truth is, I have a shit ton of drugs in my backpack. I was like, what do you mean? Like, what type of drugs? Because if it's just weed, it's whatever. He goes, well, it's not just weed. He goes, it's heroin, meth, coke, mushrooms, acid, molly, and a shit ton of more drugs. And I was like, what the fuck? I was really fucking confused. Turns out John makes most of his income by selling drugs and uses Taco Bell as more of a way to have a cover. So it's not just a base income off of that. And he was a manager, so he can really get away with a lot of shit. So, I was like, okay, what the fuck? Alright, whatever. Alright, I was so desperate for these cigarettes, I didn't even give a fuck. If we got pulled over and the cops searched them. I didn't fucking think about that. Now I'd be like, what the fuck? But dumbass me was like, fuck yeah. So we kept rocking and rolling. We walked down there and we get my cigarettes and sorry, words don't agree with me sometimes. And we start to walk back to the hotel and I ask him, you staying at this hotel too? Because John was also kind of homeless. He got kicked out of his place a lot and basically ended up staying at hotels and motels. Which I knew a couple people that did that. For at least where I'm from, it's not that weird. If it is, tell me down below because to me it's not that fucking weird. So, we walked back to the motel. He lived farther back. I lived in the front. And I was just chilling, smoking my cigarette. And I was talking to this couple. And they invite me in. And we're sitting there and I learned some things about them. The guy worked at a factory. He worked at the uncrushable factory, basically down the highway, right? The girl worked at Logan Aluminum, and basically she was like, you call them and make orders. I don't know what it's called, but you just make orders with the person. At least that's how she explained it to me. I was like, okay. So, we were talking, and they bring out a cooler of beer. And they asked me if I drank. I was like, yeah. And I don't drink at all. So, it was probably very fucking obvious I don't drink to them. But I was drinking some beer, hanging out, and we were just talking it up, going outside a couple times, smoking cigarettes. Had no fucking clue who these people are. Just met them for cigarettes, and they think I'm from fucking Florida. And being the dumbass I was, I decided to go in the room. So, there I was, just talking to them about this. And they don't even know my name. So, they could have known that I was a fucking serial killer, for God's sake. So, it was about, 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the morning. And I was fucking tired. And I went back to my hotel room after saying goodbye. And I tried to sleep. I can't really sleep. And I finally, I was tossing and turning. I just can't sleep for some goddamn reason. So about 6 o'clock rose up and I finally closed my eyes. Counting sheets, and just nothing. Just silence finally hit. And I was just sleeping. And then all of a sudden, boom! Glass breaks, right? And it keeps breaking and breaking and breaking, and I'm freaking the fuck out. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And it sounds like, at least into my room, someone's going around and breaking every window in this fucking motel, scaring the shit out of me. So, like the Shad alpha male, big muscle guy I am, I lock myself in the bathroom and get in fetal position because I am shit fucking terrified, and I was like, I'm not dying from a crackhead today. And I hear the cops come, and this is the only time I like hearing the cops come, and I'm like, fuck yes. And I walk out of my motel, and I look over, and the cop was just sitting there, but something's off. They're holding a black baby, and it's not theirs. And they look at me and they're like, we have no idea. Some girl just ran down here with a thick Asian accent and told me to hold this baby and ran back up. So, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I look over, and the ambulance are there too. And they are wheeling this guy basically out of the motel, and he has a piece of glass about, I want to say about 4 inches. You know, I can see it from one side of his arm throughout the other. He is foaming at the mouth. He is just fucking livid, right? I'm like, what the fuck? This shocks my interest. Alright? So I light a cigarette, and I'm smoking, and the cops are above me, and I'm listening to the whole thing. And one of the cops come down, and I ask him, like, what's going on, man? And he goes, so, basically, they were having a party, and the party got out of hand. And he said he can't tell me a lot, but basically the party got out of hand, and they controlled the situation. But me, being the fucking eavesdropper I was, listened to the whole thing. So get this. They were having a small get-together, and they were all in this hotel room, and one of their friends brings drugs. I don't know what drug it is. I wish I could. Because this shit sounds fucking crazy. So, some of the friends took the drug, some of them were drinking. And all of a sudden, one of their friends started freaking the fuck out, yelling at everyone, then fucking started punching people to the point where he was taking shit off the walls and just fucking throwing it. He broke the fucking TV. And then the last fucking act of violence, he punched the glass and broke through it, but the glass went into his arm. And there was only one sober friend, and bless their heart for what they had to do today, just so they don't get in trouble. So she's the one that called the cops, and she's also the same person that ran downstairs and gave these people the kids. That kid, not theirs. I don't know why I said theirs, but her kid, and ran back up to handle the situation till the police gets here. So, also while I'm eavesdropping, this Asian woman is giving this cop so much smack. And the most fucking dumbest thing I think I've heard to this day was a cop go, "Can I see your ID? Because now you're being detained." And she goes, "Fuck no, I'm an immigrant." The most fucking dumb-ass thing you can ever say, right? Like, it's like going up to the cop and be like, are you drunk? And be like, "Fuck no, but I'm baked as hell." Hell yeah, man. But, anyways, he's like, "You are?" Okay. And, this, I feel bad for this cop, too, because this cop is just trying to basically, not, not arrest someone, really, because it's been a long night, it seems like, for him. And he probably has some better shit to do. And he's trying his best, and this girl just keeps on giving him trouble. And he's like, "Alright, look, if you don't calm the fuck down, I'm gonna take you to jail and you will be deported." And she was like, "Go ahead and deport me." And then her friend steps in, right? Like the fucking superhero she is, and goes, "Shut the fuck up. thank you. I'll hand it from here. We need to go. Get up your shit and get in my car. And, like, just fucking bravery on her part. Because I would have just sat there and watched the whole thing happen. Because that was pretty funny. It was some dumbass shit's being said. So, she leaves and she grabs her baby, says thank you, and leaves. Alright? Now, this is where it gets a little bit more dumbass on my end. I made a joke to these people, my neighbors basically, right beside me. I was like, man, fuck it. I might just go to Waffle House and call it a night. As a jokingly saying that. And we laughed and said, we might join you too. I was like, haha, yeah. And about an hour goes and I get done with my cigarette. I flick it and I was like, alright, I'm going to go to bed. Or try to go to bed. And they go, we're going to try to do the same. And I go back in, you know, I take a shower because I can always fall asleep easier if I have this hot shower. And I lay down and I'm trying to sleep. Well, this time, I'm going to get another drink of my water. Alright. Well, this time, instead of a banging noise, you know, just echoing around, I heard a knock. It was about 8 a.m. And I couldn't sleep. So I just go and answer the door. Sorry for the bang, my mouse just fell down. But I go and answer the door, and it's my roommates. Not my roommates, but my neighbors. And they're like, Waffle House? And I was like, alright, fuck yeah, let's go to Waffle House. So, I don't have a car, so you gotta remember that. And the roads are way too busy. It's a Sunday. Alright, so people are out to eat, you know, trying to get dinner or breakfast with the family and shit. And Waffle House is packed. So, oh, sorry. By the way, I was in their car. Another dumbass thing I did. I could have got kidnapped. I was being fucking retarded. And I was like, okay. And we walk into this Waffle House. We look around, 2-pack. And we're like, okay, what else can we get out? And they go, you want to get at Motor City? I was like, sure, whatever. And we go to the Motor City and we eat, right? We start getting to know each other more. And we ask what brought us to this motel, you know? And they go, oh, we met on Tinder and this is our, basically, our little hookup. I was like, oh, okay. And they asked me, I was like, well, while I was in Florida, I had none of my friends around, so I couldn't celebrate my 18th birthday, so I decided to celebrate it tonight. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes so much sense. It's like, yeah. And they're like, okay, what was your plan? And I was like, I just wanted to just hang out. And they're like, okay, I was just looking for something to do. And I did a lot, clearly. And, we were just talking and hanging out. And the check comes, right? And this guy was so fucking nice. He paid for my meal since it was my birthday. Alright, we get back in the car, and he goes, what else do y'all want to do? We have about, at least a couple more hours before we have to check out, and we don't want to just spend our time watching TV, right? And I was like, yeah. So we're driving around, and they go, you want to go to Flealand? And I was like, what's Flealand? So, basically, Flealand in my city is what it sounds like. It's a market, like, where people can set up shops and sell the shit. Or try to have their own business in there, right? It's really like shitty products and like toys, like shitty airsoft guns that break and shit. So it wasn't like a generally good store. It was just a store that, if you want, it was something to go and do. So I was like, okay, let's go to Flealand. And they're like, they got really mad at first and was like, you've never been to Flealand? We're going to Flealand. Let's go to Flealand. And I was like, okay, let's go to Flealand. So we go to Flealand, right? And we're walking around, and this guy was basically trying to buy a present for his dad, and I was like, alright, that's cool. And we're walking around more and shit, and we went to this guitar store, this music store, basically. my friend Memphis works at this music store. And I was like, holy shit. He's going to be able to vouch for my story. I was so hyped about this because he was like one of the people that can vouch for my story. And we're walking around, and Memphis sees me and goes, "What's up, Devin?" And I run up to him and was like, "Dude, be very, quiet, These people don't know I'm from Bowling Green. I will explain the whole thing later." And he goes, "Alright." Because I've done these, adventures before where I go and do something really fucking stupid and have these really, cool kind of stories to tell. And he understood that this was probably going to end up being one of these stories. So, we were walking around, and I guess he looks over and he sees a stripper pole. He goes, "This makes me really want to go to a strip club." And I was like, he looked at me and he was like, trying to see if I got the joke. And I was like, "Man, I've never been to a strip club." He goes, "What?" He goes, "We're going to change that today." And I was like, "Okay." And we get in the car, and he takes me to the strip club. And again, this guy is so fucking nice. He gives me money to throw at the strippers. Alright, and this is why I'm like, okay, what are they trying to do? Because no one's this nice to do this. He gave me 50s and 1s to throw at strippers. No one's that fucking nice. So, I kind of started getting hesitated, really fucking uncomfortable. And we leave the strip club, and the girl says, "Are we ever going to go get those tattoos?" And they explained to me that they were feeling spontaneous last night, and they were going to go get matching smiley face tattoos on their fingers. And they go and do that. And I'm in there, and the guy's like, "Do you want a tattoo? I'll pay for it." And I was like, "Nah, man." Because I don't want to get a tattoo from this guy because I don't fucking know him. And I don't know why he keeps paying for my shit. Because that's getting me really uncomfortable. So, we're hanging out, and I'm watching them get this tattoo. And I was like, this is fucking stupid. Why are you going to get a tattoo the first day you met? And we get back in the car, and we're driving around. And he brings up Nashville. Alright. And he goes, "You want to go to Nashville?" To the store. She goes, "Yeah." He looks at me. He's like, "You want to come to Nashville with us? I'll pay for your hotel room." And I was like, no, because I don't want to get stuck in some fucking sex slave type shit. I don't want any of the fucking mojo he is trying to sell me. So I'm like, no, just it's fine. We go back to the hotel room, and we were hanging out, smoking our cigarettes, and I look at him, and he goes, "What?" Pull the cigarette out of my mouth, blow the smoke, and I go, with a big ass grin on my face, I go, "Hello, my name is Devin Dean. It's nice to meet you." Right? Then the guy goes, "Hello, my name is Jones. It's nice to meet you." And the girl looks at me and goes, "Hello, my name is Rebecca. Nice to meet you." And that is when I learned their names. We never know any names the whole fucking time. And I'm like, "Nice to meet you." And we say nothing and finish our cigarettes. I flick mine, I wave goodbye, I get my shit, and I leave. I call my friend Nate, he comes fix me up, and he's the second guy who can vouch for me. So, welcome to the end of the video. I'm glad that you made it to the end. Basically, since the video end, I'm gonna sit here and tell y'all my plans for my channel. So, I did originally have a video game, like funny moments type fucking shit. It's basically show you what's mainly gonna be on here. It's like gaming to fucking commentary videos, right? I don't plan to have many Storytime videos because I'm not that great of a storyteller, but I have some banger ass stories to tell people. And that's not one of the greatest stories I've had. So, I plan to be basically be able to do what I want. I plan to do YouTube mainly as a hobby, but if I grow, somewhat popular on this platform, I will be trying to be consistent. I'm not gonna set basically, a schedule that I'm gonna post this many times, because I don't want to overwork it. Because, like I said, I want to treat this more as a hobby for now. The second thing is I do have a Twitch channel, and I usually like to be able to stream. And if you want to ever, come check me out and see what I'm doing live and how I am without feeling worried about I'm not doing something right or something like that, because this is my really first time actually doing a YouTube video, then come check me down there and, give me a follow, because I would love to see and talk to people. I love talking and hearing your stories. And the next thing is I do want to give out one of my friends a shout out, even though I'm not famous. I know, what the fuck, you fucking stupid. You don't even have one follower. And I'm just basically going to, give him a shout out, because he did try to help me plan my gaming video. My gaming video with unedited was about 4 hours. I was going to try to boil it down to 10 to 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes if I had to. And he was basically with me for a long majority of time. And my friend Dominic. You can find Dominic's Twitch channel in the below, and Garrett's YouTube channel below too. They both do live stream, and I think we're about to get Garrett to do some videos. So stay tuned for those for him. The next thing, let's see. Was there anything else? Gaming, my friends. Oh, yeah, the next thing is, if you do, want to watch some of the shit I do and stuff I'll post when I'm not as, nervous to be able to worry about videos, about me releasing videos, then, leave it, subscribe and leave a like and comment something down below, and I will reply to your comments. And, yeah, thank you, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit the like button, subscribe, it helps me out a lot, and see y'all.